We're talking Blue Raider football. Live from the Boulevard Bar and Grill, it's Rick Stockstill Live. 1 hour of football conversation with the head coach of the Blue Raiders. Be a part of the show on Twitter using the hashtag AskStock. Tonight's show is presented by Ascend Federal Credit Union, the exclusive credit union of Blue Raider Athletics. Bud Light, it's for the fans. And Ascension St. Thomas, official hospital partner of MTSU. Now with head coach Rick Stockstill, here's the voice of the Blue Raiders, Chip Walters. Let's go!
Welcome into the Boulevard tonight, and it's going to be football central here this evening as we talk Blue Raider football until 7 o'clock. And coming up in about 15 minutes, you've got Titans kickoff at Buffalo on Monday Night Football. So a lot of stuff going on, but a lot of good things to talk about as well with the head coach. And please welcome in Coach Rick Stockstill. How are you today, sir?
Outstanding. Appreciate it, Chip. Thanks for everybody being here tonight, and looking forward to a great night.
Yep, and Middle Tennessee coming off a great victory, 49-6 on Saturday against Tennessee State, as we come to you live from just across campus at the Boulevard, our favorite sports bar and grill in Murfreesboro. Be sure and stop by today, tonight, and whenever. Tonight would be a great time to stop by with everything that is going on. Your ball club, momentum is one of those things that you like to have going through any season and in anything you do in sports. And right now your ball club's got some, and every area of your team is contributing to it, and that has to be satisfying as a head coach.
Yeah, Chip, I think the last couple of weeks we've gotten better each week, and that's what you want to strive for. That's, individually as a player and collectively as a team, you try to get better each week, and I think we've done that the last couple of weeks, and really proud of our guys, the mental intensity, the mental focus that they had last week, especially, at halftime it's 42-0, and, it's hard to maintain that. And I thought our guys did a much better job of focusing and maintaining that same intensity than they did the week prior to Colorado State, when we were up 27-0 so at the half. So we're a young team. We'll continue to improve and get better each week.
Yep, and the Raiders with the win are now 2-1, and it was the it may be hard to realize, but you guys had played 4 straight on the road dating back to last year, and that included a win at FAU, the bowl win in the Bahamas. You opened up this year at JMU, then to Colorado State. So 4 straight road games, and now you get home, and you have won 4 out of your last 5 going back to last year, and you want to continue to build on that.
Yeah, we take a lot of pride in playing at home, and I said it at our press conference today, that just a shout out to our crowd, the fans, the student body, it was loud, it was energetic, there's a lot of energy in the stadium, a lot of people, and it was a really, really good atmosphere. And our players, they respond to that. They get energized from the fans' energy in the stands, and the music and everything. It was just a great, great atmosphere, and our players responded really well. But I just, really appreciate everybody coming to the game because it was a really nice crowd.
Really was. Good community night, good student crowd, as you mentioned. And, if anybody had a complaint, said, well, the line was long getting in the gate. Well, get there early. Come on in, make some noise. And a lot of folks did. And I thought it was cool when you guys came out looking across the way from where we sit, that whole section where the Blue Zoo was already filling up and getting full, and they were making noise. And talking to your guys after the game, they said it absolutely makes a difference when their fellow students are there making noise and having a great time.
Yeah, it does. And, like I said, we warm up on that end where they're at. So, our guys, like I said earlier, they felt the energy in the stadium, and it motivates them, it energizes them, it gets their juices flowing, and it was a really, really good atmosphere, for the opening game.
Yep, you had a lot of things go well, and the Blue Raiders as a team put up a total of over 400 yards on the night. The Blue Raiders held Tennessee State to 210 yards. The Blue Raiders had 435 yards of offense on 70 plays, and you out-snapped them by 14. Were you happy with the tempo that you guys were trying to play and were able to get into the game?
Yeah, especially, the first half, what did we score? 6 out of the 7 times in the first half, something like that, and just,
And the only miss was the first time.
Yes, sir. And I just, I told our coaches at halftime, I don't want to embarrass, Tennessee State. I don't want to embarrass their program, their players, because I felt like we could have scored, a lot more. And we were very conservative the second half. We didn't throw any passes. Well, we threw a little jet sweep pass there for -4 there late in the fourth quarter. And, so we used the 40-second clock. So we created a lot of yardage and, a lot of plays there in the first half. And the second half, we were basically playing young guys and running out the clock to try to be respectful to them.
Then you still, with that, held the ball for 35 minutes and 32 seconds, and a lot of that came in the second half because you guys did start using the play clock a good bit.
Yeah, very seldom. I don't know if we ever snapped it where there was more than 10 seconds left. Most of the time it was anywhere from 2 to 7, seconds on the play clock, and just tried to, it's – and I apologize to our team on Sunday, the guys that played in the second half, because they deserve, to be able to play wide open and everything. But, I just told them, I said I didn't want to be disrespectful to Eddie, their coaching staff and their players there. And, I wasn't interested in getting on ESPN for scoring 80 or 90 points. I just, do things the right way, be first class, win with class, and that's how I thought we did.
Yep. Would you like to see that game continued sporadically?
Yeah, I think it's great for both fan bases. There's a lot of tradition. There's a lot of history between the two teams. So if you're playing an FCS team that, you would like for it to be an in-state team, obviously, and then one that's, 30 miles down the road makes a lot of sense. So, I think it would be a good thing to talk about and an opportunity for, the two schools to continue to build on the traditions that they've had in the past years.
Yeah, and it's a familiar opponent, and there's so many folks, whether it's alums of both schools or fans of both schools, whatever it might be, that probably work together. So there's some bragging rights going on, and right now the Blue Raiders certainly have the better of that with TSU. The Blue Raiders now lead the all-time series 12 games to 10 after a 49-6 win over the Tigers on Saturday night at Floyd Stadium. We'll take a timeout as we'll continue things along here at the Boulevard. Chase Cunningham will be with us later on, and we'll also hear from the voice of the Hurricanes, Joe Zagacki. That's all coming up as Rick Stockstill Live continues from the Boulevard here from Learfield.
Hey Blue Raider fans, this is Coach Rick Stockstill. Have you heard about the MTSU debit card from Ascend Federal Credit Union? This card is exactly what you need for your busy lifestyle. Use it online and in stores. Purchases are automatically deducted from your Ascend checking account, and you can even add the card to your mobile wallet for ultimate convenience. Bank where the Blue Raiders belong. Ascend Federal Credit Union, exclusive credit union of Blue Raider Athletics.
Ascend is federally insured by NCUA. Visit us at ascend.org.
Murfreesboro, you can count on an award-winning service team for all your home maintenance and improvement needs. Lee Company, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, recognized by Angie's List as a super service provider since 2008, is ready to assist with all your home maintenance needs. Heating and air conditioning, plumbing, electrical, home improvement, and more. Experience the convenience of calling one phone number for all your home maintenance and improvement needs. Call Lee Company today at 615-867-1000 or visit leecompany.com.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in treating Middle Tennessee State University athletes. Experts in bones, joints, and muscles, and with more than 60 specialists in locations across Middle Tennessee, TOA has a playbook to get you back in the game. To request an appointment, visit us at TOA.com or give us a call at 855-NEED-TOA. Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance, or TOA, the official team doctors for Blue Raider Athletics.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor. I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Hey Blue Raider fans, this is Dr. Mark Hardison with Middle Tennessee Oral and Implant Surgery. We are so proud to be able to serve the Blue Raider teams and their families when they need wisdom teeth removed, dental implants, or other specialty oral care. Our mission is to provide health care as it should be, providing compassion, availability, and excellence to every one of our patients. We deeply appreciate the support of your business as we join in supporting our team. Let's go Blue!
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life.
Last break right here.
Maybe you're just graduating high school.
Thank you.
Or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
The Blue Raiders play here. News Radio WGNS.
Well, the Blue Raiders will be playing here on Saturday as they take on the Miami Hurricanes. And that will be Saturday at 2:30 Central Time at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. We'll have the broadcast beginning at 1 p.m. with the Tailgate Show. The Murfreesboro Post is Rutherford County's local newspaper. Subscriptions to the Post are just $20 a year for 52 issues. Visit online at murfreesboropost.com today. Couple of before we start diving into the first half of this past weekend's game, couple of things. Number one, if you want to get a question in tonight, we have cards here in the restaurant, or you can drop us an email. That will be at blueraidernet@gmail.com. That's blueraidernet@gmail.com. We'll be checking those at the bottom of the hour. Also, we had originally scheduled this show next week to be on Tuesday night, but that's going to back up to Monday night at our normal time, a week from tonight at 6 o'clock, and that will be prior to the UTSA game. All right, Raiders and Tennessee State. TSU ended up getting the football first and forced a punt. You guys got it at your own 30-yard line, and after a couple of first downs, a long throw, and Chase had an interception in what was a heck of a play down there in a battle between two guys.
Yeah, I think the ball just slipped out of his hand. It didn't come out clean. Watching it live, it just looked like it came out funny, and then when he got to the sideline asking him, and he did say, yeah, it just kind of slipped out of his hand. He wasn't as accurate on it as he would have liked to have been, but their guy made a really nice play getting a foot in bounds. He's right there on the sideline, but our defense really responded well to that and, shut him down again.
Gave you the ball at your own 38. You had a big play 2nd and 7 at the plus 37 and hit Yusuf Ali there, and I thought he had gotten in, but down to the 1-yard line. And then you bring in Heavy D.
Yeah, we've changed the name. It's not that anymore, so somebody can buy some more sweatshirts for him. But
what is it now?
It's the Diesel package now.
Diesel package.
But yeah, we changed it up. We had to add a guy to it. Added J.K. to it because he was getting his feelings hurt because he wasn't being involved. So we put him on the backside, but it was good, we didn't execute it great. It was kind of we were really lucky to get in, to be honest with you, on that play. But those guys do a great job. They take a lot of pride in it, and it forces the defense into something different, especially when you have Ferg and J.K. as tight ends, they are both in eligible numbers, so you've got to, defend them in the passing game. And then you've got Marley and Zaylen, they're inside the bulldozers to knock people back. But it was a good deal, and we'll continue to use that and, help us in short yardage and goal line situations.
And interesting, did you change the way you line them up a little bit this year and had them right behind the left guard and tackle?
Yeah, well, actually we split the left guard.
Okay.
And the tackle there, and those guys are both in that gap. They're both in a three-point stance, and they're just coming straight off the ball and blocking anything that gets in their way.
Yep, and they certainly did. It got Frank Pizon in for the first of his 3 touchdowns on the night. After holding Tennessee State on downs, Raiders got it back, drove it 69 yards in 11 plays, and a pretty pass from Chase Cunningham to Jalen Lane. Put just enough air under it.
Yeah, it's that same play in practice on Tuesday. Jalen's running it and steps in a hole and hurts his ankle.
Oh.
And, so he didn't practice the rest of the day. He didn't practice on the next day. And then he was limited Thursday and Friday. And then just how ironic that is that, the play that he got hurt on in practice, stepping in a hole,
yeah.
He scores a touchdown on it. But he did a really nice job of setting the defender up. He looked him off with his eyes and gave him a good stick. And Chase threw a great ball out there. It was an on-time throw, and, got the touchdown.
Got that out of order a little bit. That came a little bit later. But you had the block punt, and Taharon Sutterth, he almost caught it right off the foot of the punter. But Jalen Montgomery, who is, again, one of those guys who is a double number, and if he's in there at the same time as the other guy with that number, he has to wear a different number. But fortunately, Mark Owens had let us know that Montgomery, if he is in there on whatever play and he's wearing, I think, 39, whatever it was he had on, and so we were able to kind of decipher him because there was no name on his jersey and it was in a different number on his helmet than it was on the jersey because of that. But anyway, he made a great play, picked it up on the run, took it in for the touchdown. And when you get special team scores, good things are going to happen for you.
Yeah, TK did a great job making the block. And then, Jalen Montgomery, he was 23. And when he and Jalen Jackson on the punt team, they couldn't be on the punt block team at the same time. So we changed his number, middle of the week when we put him on the attack team, the punt block team. And Larry didn't have enough time to get his name transferred over to 29. And then, the stickers on the numbers. It's out on some ship in the middle of the ocean somewhere that we ran out of numbers to get everybody on the helmet. So that's why his number was different or didn't have it. So, but both those guys made great plays and said it all week long that we thought we had an advantage in the kicking game. And, we could make a difference there, and we did. We did a really good job of forcing some earlier, the first couple 3 punts. We put some pressure on him, and, he shanked a couple, and, Jalen Lane fielded the other one. But then we got the block, and, Jalen Montgomery did a nice job scooping it up and scoring.
Also in there, you in that stretch of 6 straight possessions where you scored, you had a nice play with Chase hitting Darius Bracey on an 11-yard pass, and then Chase on a quarterback draw calling his own number and scoring.
Yeah, Chase got some pressure early on the one to Darius Bracey, and when Darius was his check down, and Chase did a really nice job of, knowing where he's at and getting him the ball right before he got hit. And then Darius made a nice run. But, DJ Chisholm, Isaiah Gathings, those 2 guys had some really, really big-time blocks, on the perimeter to get Darius in there. So I thought our receivers blocked really well on the perimeter, especially in the fast screen, the quick screen game. did a really nice job. And then, Chase on the quarterback draw did a good job getting in the end zone.
Yeah, and then late in the final 2 minutes, Jalen Davis gets an interception, takes it down to the 16-yard line, and Frank Peasant went in from 6 yards out, and you go up 42-0 right there. And you always talk about the middle 8. You scored 2 touchdowns in the final 2 minutes, basically, of the first half, and then come out and score immediately to start the third quarter. That was – you couldn't have drawn it up much better than that.
Yeah, it was like I said last week, you go in and score right before the half. It energizes your team. Sometimes it takes a little bit of wind out of your opponent, and then you come out on the first drive and you score like we did these last 2 weeks. It's that's a little deflating to your opponent and energizes you on the sideline. So I thought that we've handled that part of the game really well, and it was a really nice. We blocked really well up front. We blocked good on the perimeter to spring, Frank for that long one.
42-0 at halftime. Middle Tennessee leading Tennessee State on Saturday night in front of 22,227 at Floyd Stadium. We'll take a timeout, have more with Coach after this on the Blue Raider Network from Learfield.
Every week, our Blue Raiders go the extra mile to make sure they're at their very peak. At Sunbelt Bakery, they do the same thing to make sure their granola bars are at their peak. Every week, Sunbelt Bakery brings new batches of granola bars from their bakery to your neighborhood. That's why Sunbelt Bakery's granola bars taste like they just baked them. Because they did. Try a Sunbelt Bakery granola bar today and taste the difference. Sunbelt Bakery. Bakery fresh taste. No preservatives.
It's never lost on Window World that your home is your largest physical investment. Window World's integrity will be noticed from your very first moment of contact. The clean, professional installation of premium windows, siding, doors, and more are designed to last while leaving your home looking amazing. Window World and their lifetime warranty will always be there when it really matters. They're America's most trusted remodeler and proud partner of Middle Tennessee Athletics because the difference is integrity and always in the details.
MT Dining is eating made easy. With more than 19 dining locations, you'll never run out of variety on campus. Whether it's Chick-fil-A, Steak and Shake, or Starbucks, we've got the brands you love right here. Need a quick snack or Scantron? Stop by one of the 6 pods on campus. And try out MT Dining's new Farm to Fork experience. Farmers Market now open. Located in the Student Union. Visit mtdining.com for more information. Or visit our office in the Keithley University Center, room 202.
Whether you go online or go in person, City Auto in Murfreesboro is where you go to see a gazillion cars and choose the one that's right for you. And there's no better time to go than now because we have a bigger, brand new facility. It's the easy, comfortable, convenient way to find what you're looking for. Remember, cityauto.com is where you go to find your car online. And the all-new City Auto campus in Murfreesboro is where you go to see it in person. Go now, and we'll see you there.
You buy something because you found it at a low price, and soon you realize it's no bargain because you really needed something better. It happens all the time, especially with car insurance. But the good news is you can get the right coverage at the right price. Just talk to me, State Farm Agent Bud Morris. I'll help you get the right coverage at a price that's right for you. Call me at 893-1417 today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I'm Bud Morris, providing insurance and financial services.
Middle Tennessee Electric proudly supports the Blue Raiders, and
Last
we're proud to
commercial,
power
Chip.
the scoreboard lights at Floyd Stadium. When it comes to the electric service in the community, you can always trust MTE to do what's
Chip,
best
is
for
this a
our
segment
members.
where
We
the
serve by
guest is
providing
coming in?
affordable, No, it'll be reliable, the safe next segment, electricity so I was and getting ready to tell you, outstanding be on the member lookout services. for him to Here at join MTE, we the serve Zoom to call make in life about better 5 for minutes. our members and their
Already
communities.
sounds good.
Visit
Thanks, Chip.
MTE.com to learn more. And about that scoreboard, well, light it up, Blue Raiders.
News Radio WGNS, the flagship station for Blue Raider sports.
Blue Raider fans, get ahead of the game with the best home services team in town. For your heating, air conditioning, plumbing, electrical, and home improvement needs, Lee Company is the team to call. 615-867-1000 or online at leecompany.com. And Coach Rick Stockstill here with us tonight as Middle comes off a 49-6 win against Tennessee State on Saturday night. And the Blue Raiders have a great record when you have a 100-yard back rushing. And going into the game, it was 176, 58, and 1. And Frank Pizant had 123 yards. I think that's been adjusted to 122. It is 122 net, and 3 touchdowns. And his run to start the second half was, great cut at the end at about the 10-yard line, and that was kind of the exclamation point on the win. Yeah, really good. Like I said earlier, that had good blocking up front. Our receivers did a really nice job on the perimeter, and DJ Chisholm on the backside. There he was on the left side and coming all the way across, chasing down there to cut a guy off and just getting his way, and enabled Frank to cut behind him. So really good play. I think it was the second play of the second half. So it's a great way to start and go back to talking about the, that middle eight, and how you handle those 8 minutes of the game. And it just, like you said, it kind of set the tempo. Now it's 49-0, and hard to come back from that. Yeah, it is. And at that point, you started using a lot of guys, offense, defense, and I think you had Stone Frost and Preston Rice in at quarterback, as well as backup receivers, linemen. You were getting a lot of good reps in a game situation for players who you're going to need down the road. Yeah, and I think I said it earlier tonight, Chip, that I told our coaches at halftime I didn't want to embarrass them. Use the 40-second clock, don't throw it. Let's play as many people as we can after the first drive, because I wanted our starters to, come out of the locker room, at halftime, come out and be able to handle that, and they did a great job. We didn't blitz. We didn't rush the punter. We played very conservative. We played a lot of people in the second half, and used the clock. And, because I just didn't want to do anything to embarrass Eddie or his team. And but a lot of those guys got a lot of reps, and it's good for them. In the same respect, they got to play better than what they did, because, you never know when your number's going to be called. And but they got a lot of good experience out there playing. Well, and also whether it was your starters or your backups, the combinations that you used in your offensive line, when they put together a 223-yard rushing night, those guys had to do a good job up front to make that happen. And, one of the guys I was keeping an eye on after having to come in due to an injury last week was Wilson Kelly, who was ended up being your starting center. And that's not easy on the run to do that. And I don't think you had any bad snaps on Saturday. No, Wilson was very solid, did a nice job, and probably one of the best compliments you can give an offensive lineman is, you didn't see him, so he didn't do anything bad. He was solid. His snaps were good. So a lot of times with an offensive lineman, the only time people really notice him is when he, gives up a sack or he, misses a block or whatever. And, Wilson didn't do that. He did a really nice job, and I was proud for him. Yep, and the Raiders win it by a score of 49-6. Fireworks during the game, and the fireworks show outside the stadium happened just as the horn hit triple zeros, and the Blue Raiders get the win. And again, 2-1 on the season, and the Raiders, going back to last year, have now won 4 out of their last 5. We'll take a timeout, and we will be back with our second half of the show. Rick Stockstill live from the Boulevard on the Blue Raider Network from Learfield.
4, 3, 2, 1.
One lucky Powerball player will ring in the new year with $1 million win. Powerball's New Year's Rockin' Eve VIP experience is back with a chance for you and a guest to score the trip of a lifetime to New York City for New Year's Eve. Win exclusive access to epic events and a chance to be the first Powerball millionaire of 2023. Announced live on
Yes, he
TikTok's
just
New
joined
Year's
the
Rockin'
Zoom.
Eve.
I told him
Enter
he'd
your
be on
Powerball
after
tickets at
the next break.
tnviprewards.com by October 30th. The Tennessee Lottery. Please play responsibly.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
We mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
The MTSU Alumni Association is proud of its more than 130,000 living alumni who are leading, teaching, entertaining, researching, flying, farming, nursing, and more worldwide. Every Blue Raider accomplishment adds value to your degree. Are you connected to the MTSU National Alumni Association? Visit mtalumni.com to share what you're doing, update your information, and see how you can be involved and informed. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Murfreesboro Medical Clinic is proud to be the official medical group of MTSU Athletics. We all win big when we work as a team for better health. Just like MTSU's athletes and coaches, our healthcare professionals work tirelessly to make our community proud. At MMC, we really are true blue. MTSU is our hometown team, and your health is our mission. Visit mmclinic.com or call us at 615-893-4480.
Roscoe Brown is proud to be a longtime supporter of MTSU Athletics and your locally owned HVAC and plumbing company. For 82 years, Roscoe Brown has been the trusted name in heating, cooling, and plumbing for Middle Tennessee homeowners and businesses. Call 1-888-MY-ROSCOE to schedule your HVAC or plumbing service today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Roscoe Brown. People you know, a name you trust. Go Blue Raiders.
Roscoe Brown.
RoscoeBrown.com.
The way we do work has changed. Where we
All
work,
right,
how we
Chip,
work,
last
and the
commercial
day-to-day
right here.
challenges we face as businesses have evolved. As organizations continue to adapt, RJ Young is here to help. We're your one-stop for technology solutions that power your business. Whether it's office technology and equipment, managed IT services, business process outsourcing, or digital communications, we can help make your workflows easier, faster, and more efficient so your team can focus on the core of your business. To learn more about what RJ Young can do for you, visit themodernoffice.com.
You're listening to MTSU Sports on WGNS.
Welcome back into the Boulevard tonight as we are with Rick Stockstill live. Raiders head to South Florida for the first of two trips to Miami this year. The Blue Raiders will be taking on the Hurricanes of Miami, and happy to welcome in Joe Zagacki, who is in his 18th season as the play-by-play voice of the Hurricanes. And, Joe, hope you are rested up from your trip from the weekend.
Yeah, pretty wild place to go. College Station, a great atmosphere, 107,000 fans there. That was their third largest crowd in the history of that stadium to see the Miami Hurricanes play. So very entertaining, hard-hitting, hard-fought game for us.
Yeah, we went out there in 1991 when Leland McElroy was playing, and Electric Leland brought a punt back pretty early in that game to set the tone. But you're right. It's one of the most unique atmospheres in all of college football. Hurricanes come in 1-1, and here we are with the matchup coming up this weekend. You've got with Mario now as the head coach. You've had now back-to-back coaches that we're pretty familiar with Manny spending his time there for a couple of years, and now Coach Cristobal, who was at FIU. He is putting his thumbprint on this program week by week, isn't he?
He is indeed. He's familiar with your program, as you mentioned, from his days at FIU, but he definitely has a blueprint here at the University of Miami. He knows what he wants to achieve. He knows what this place is capable of being. He has seen it. He's been a part of it. He knows what it looks like. And so he's going to try to will Miami to what they're supposed to be. And there are going to be some speed bumps along the way, as there were the other night. But I thought their effort was good. Execution wasn't great. but he's a guy that very honest with his players. I think he'll have them ready to go on Saturday. He's doing a good job recruiting, and as I mentioned, his DNA is made up of orange and green. So I think he's going to be very successful here. As Howard Schnellenberger once said, the only variable is time.
That's exactly right. I remember when Howard said that at Louisville as well. That he said the University of Louisville will win a national championship. The only variable is time. But that was Howard's line, and boy, he really got it going. And earlier today on his press conference, the AP writer from Miami talked to Coach Stock about since Stock was the quarterback at Florida State, and those were the kind of the glory days that got that rivalry between Miami and Florida State going, and a great throwback to Bobby Bowden and to Coach Schnellenberger, who got that going, and who knew what it would be like back 35, 40 years ago. But both of those programs have had great tradition, and you've been there to see some of the great times in Miami football.
I was there when Coach Stockstill played. Now, I wasn't working. I was at the game in the West End Zone, and that Miami-Florida State game of 1980 was a great game. Now, my color analyst, was the center in that game, Don Bailey Jr. He played center in that game, snapped the ball to Jim Kelly. Florida State only lost one game that season in the regular season. That was to the University of Miami. Probably one pass that Coach Stockstill would like to have back, deflected for a 2-point conversion for the win by Jim Burt. But that was, that kind of typified the Miami-Florida State series, right? Always came down to one play, one dramatic play, and the stakes were always so high. And it was very interesting that Miami and Florida State just kind of paralleled each other from 1980 up until, a handful of years ago. Maybe even now you could say, because they're both struggling. But when Coach Stock played, that game in 1980 was a very, very significant game for the University of Miami.
Yeah, there were certainly men out there on both sides of the line, no question about that. Now, the 2022 version of the Hurricanes, obviously there have been so many outstanding quarterbacks that have come out of Miami. You've got Tyler Van Dyke, who threw it 41 times at Texas A&M the other night for 217 yards. What kind of operator is he?
I think he's really good, but I think he's going through some growing pains with a new offense and a new mindset. And under Coach Lashley, the last 2 years, Miami was an up-tempo, spread the field team, a lot of explosive plays. When Van Dyke took over for De'Ara King, pushed the ball down the field using his big arm. This year, the receivers aren't quite the same as what Miami had a year ago. Certainly, Van Dyke is missing Charleston Rambo. It's kind of a microcosm, really, of the Miami program for years. Rambo had a great season last year, had eligibility remaining, opted to try the NFL, is not playing in the NFL. And so many Miami players have left early only to be disappointed by not making it in the league. Had Rambo come back, I think Miami would be a really, really tough out this year. They have a nice running game. Van Dyke probably trying to get accustomed to handing the ball off a little more than he has in the past and not pushing the ball down the field. They had 41 passes, as you mentioned the other night, but only a handful of those passes traveled 20 yards or more. Most of those passes were very short or intermediate, and so the explosive play has been missing. I don't think that has anything to do with Van Dyke's ability. I think it has more to do with breaking in new receivers.
Well, and one thing that Coach Stock and his staff, when they look at film, they say, here comes the Miami defense again, and has those similar hallmarks that they've always had: speed and size, able to run, and very tough on defense, and that's something you can always hang your hat on.
I thought they played really well against A&M.
Yeah,
I thought they were in the right spot at the right time. The last couple of years, Miami's been a little more high risk, high reward, whatever you want to call it. And sometimes the risk hasn't given Miami the proper reward. I think with Kevin Steele and Charlie Strong and guys like that, maybe they're a little more conservative, maybe keeping things in front of them a little bit more, concentrating on being a good tackling team or a better tackling team. Now, they weren't great the other night. Still have to work on that. But I thought I thought against A&M, they did not look like they looked like they belong. They didn't look like they were overmatched. I thought they looked like they belong. And Miami's had some games the last couple of years, Power 5, non-conference games against big opponents where they really struggled. But I thought the other night the defense kept them in the game. And I thought the defense, because the offense was kind of struggling now, if they could have made one more play, specifically a takeaway, a turnover, a big turnover, that might have tilted the game back toward Miami. But they just couldn't get that one turnover. That being said, they held A&M to under 300 yards and 17 points. And the Miami special teams pretty much gifted A&M 7, maybe 10 points in that game.
Well, Joe, we appreciate your time and look forward to what's going to be a fun afternoon down in Miami on Saturday. And it'll be the third time that these two teams have played, but they haven't seen each other on the field in 90 years. And we'll renew it coming up this weekend. But good to talk to you, and we'll see you on Saturday.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, Joe Zagacki, the voice of the Miami Hurricanes. Blue Raider quarterback Chase Cunningham is my guest when we return after this on the Blue Raider Network from Learfield.
It's red.
With heated seats.
Serious air conditioning.
And that little compartment thingy, where you put your sunglasses.
You found the perfect car. Now get the perfect loan with Ascend. We've got low rates, flexible terms, and you can apply online at ascend.org or at any of our branch locations.
I'm gonna name her Betty.
Auto loans from Ascend Federal Credit Union. Banking without the bank. Ascend is federally insured by NCUA. All loans are subject to credit approval.
Put Lee Company on your team and you'll always be ahead of the game with home maintenance, improvements, and repair. Sign up for a Lee Company home maintenance plan to have your heating and air conditioning system tuned up twice a year. In addition, you'll receive a comprehensive electrical and plumbing home inspection, plus member-only discounts and priority service, all for as low as $8.25 a month. For the very best electrical, heating, air conditioning, and plumbing services, call Lee Company at 615-867-1000 or visit leecompany.com.
Hey Blue Raider fans, this is Dr. Mark Hardison with Middle Tennessee Oral and Implant Surgery. We are so proud to be able to serve the Blue Raider teams and their families when they need wisdom teeth removed, dental implants, or other specialty oral care. Our mission is to provide health care as it should be, providing compassion, availability, and excellence to every one of our patients. We deeply appreciate the support of your business as we join in supporting our team. Let's go Blue!
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around. After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor. I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Hey, Blue Raider fans, Chip Walters here. Lightning's Locker Room, powered by Textbook Brokers, is the place to get your Blue Raider gear. Open Monday through Friday from 8 to 6 and Saturdays from 10 to 4. Lightning's Locker Room is just across the street from Floyd Stadium at 1321 Greenland Drive. It has all the MT polos, hoodies, T-shirts, hats, and all the other game day gear you'll ever need. See the selection online at mtsugear.com or at Gate 2A on game days. Lightning's Locker Room, the official game day provider, powered by Textbook Brokers.
Final break here.
Another season of women's and men's college sports is underway. Follow your alma mater or favorite team in their pursuit of the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2023 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
The Blue Raiders play here. WGNS, Murfreesboro, Smyrna.
Welcome back into Rick Stockstill Live, and glad to have Blue Raider quarterback Chase Cunningham with us for this upcoming segment. And Chase, his updated career stats, now we'll give you those. Chase has 21 passing touchdowns after a couple the other night. He doubled his rushing touchdown total to 2. after having won prior to that. And he also went over 2,000 yards in his career passing. Now with 2,204 yards, the pride of Knox Catholic, Chase Cunningham.
Thanks, Chip.
So, you got to be just living your best life right now. Come back from a really, really tough injury, and, you know, you've got a group of teammates around you that are so supportive, both offensively, defensively, how everybody's bought in to what the common goal is. It's just got to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, you said it best. I got a great group of guys around me. Obviously a great coaching staff with everything, and everybody's just been super supportive. Obviously super happy to be back out there with those guys.
Tell you, here you are, you know, your fifth year, and this is going to be your third. You're in your third offensive coordinator in 3 years, but the offense hasn't changed that much. How much did it change this year, number one, with what you were doing, and number two, from a verbiage standpoint and how to get plays in and things like that? How much learning was there to be done when Mitch came in?
You know, I think the biggest thing was just the verbiage, like you said, you know, just learning the new terminology with everything and getting everybody on the same page. And, you know, I think for us and the receivers, that's a lot like outside work that people don't really see, you know, after summer workouts and stuff, early mornings on the weekends, and, you know, just outside stuff like that.
Yeah, and kind of give folks an idea after graduation in May, when you guys go home for a couple of weeks, and then you come back in June, and you've got your receivers out there, and you and the other quarterbacks. And how many hours a week do you think you guys in the summertime, before practice ever starts up in August, do you think you guys put in?
It was probably an hour after each workout, and then probably an hour and a half on Saturdays. So
that'd be about 6 or 7 hours a week of additional work.
Yes, sir.
That had to go in. Around you this year, you've got a guy coming back at running back who has moved himself into the number one spot for sure. Frank Pizant is not going to let anybody else take that football away from him, and that's what we've been wanting to see for a lot of times. And a plethora of receivers, of all different shapes and sizes out there, a lot of different targets for you.
Yeah, super blessed to have those guys around me. A lot of playmakers make my job a lot easier. Just get those guys the ball. And, you know, for Frank, he's got a great group of O-linemen in front of him, so just got to keep handing it to that guy, let him do his thing.
Yep. And how much pressure does that take off of you as a quarterback when you've got a running back who can, you know, average 3 or 4 yards a carry or break the long one like we saw him break the other night?
Absolutely. You know, I think it makes it a lot easier on Coach Stewart calling plays, you know, whenever he can get those couple extra tough yards. And heck, yeah, it's easy to hand it to him, watch him go 80. Yeah. That's good.
It is. Now, as you guys played Tennessee State the other night, you've been around here a long time, but were you here? You were on the squad when we played them one other time, right?
Yep.
Okay. So you have a little bit of the idea of you know, that's kind of a big game to the fans because, you know, we all live and work around, you know, our middle folks are around the TSU folks all the time. So I know bragging rights means a lot, and that was important to get that.
Yeah, that atmosphere was awesome. Obviously, can't thank the fans and our student body enough for that. I know the players were fired up, and hopefully we can keep it going. Hopefully we put on a good show for them.
Yep. One of the things that is so incredible about what you have done is, you know, I can remember vividly when you were hurt on that field, and, you know, it's like one of those things, I've seen this before, and sometimes it didn't work out very well, but to get you to a point where when fall camp started, you were pretty much back 100%. When do you think you got to that point? And talking about hours you put in to get to that point, who do you give credit to in the sports medicine group of driving you, guiding you to come back from that injury?
Obviously, a special shout out to Keith. You know, he's the man behind it all, and, you know, I wouldn't be back without him. And just, you know, I think the biggest thing is just seeing that locker room made me want to fight harder and get back for those guys.
Yep. Talk about your quarterback room, because Nick Vattiato came in after you last year when you were injured. took the team and was MVP of the bowl game.
Heck yeah.
You guys went through a competition. And it's kind of interesting to compete for the same job when you're as good of friends as you and Nick have become. How do you all handle that?
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it best. Me and Nick are, great friends, and, I think we want the best for each other. Obviously, we're going to compete along with the other 4 guys in the room every time we go out there. And, I think the biggest and best thing about the room is that we all want the best for each other, and we're all going to help each other.
Yep. This week we go to Miami, take on the Hurricanes. Do you like the challenge of going to Power 5 schools and playing on that kind of stage from time to time?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the environment's going to be awesome. They're a good team, well coached, and we're excited.
Yep, and then the league starts. And nobody did you guys any favors with the schedule in the conference when you play UTSA, UAB, Western Kentucky right off the bat. But, the thing is, you wouldn't want it any other way, I guess, because they have been, over the last year, the best teams in our league, and were picked in the top 3 this year. But, the league schedule, after you get through this weekend, things kind of start balancing out as far as home and road. And I know you like playing at home as much as you can.
Heck yeah. I mean, like you say, especially with the environment we had this past weekend, just getting to play in front of those fans. But I think this week we're just focused on Miami, and we'll go from there.
What's the upside for this team?
Conference champ.
Yep. And it's all out in front of you right now.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Chase, thanks for coming by tonight.
Chip.
Chase Cunningham joining us tonight here on Rick Stockstill Live. We'll take a timeout. Be back with the head coach after this on the Blue Raider Network from Learfield.
Make a comeback after joint and back pain and get back to what you love with help from Ascension St. Thomas Joint Replacement Institute and Ascension St. Thomas Spine Institute. Our experienced care teams offer the latest technology to help shorten recovery, including minimally invasive options and robotic surgery. And to make getting care easier, we connect the dots for you, helping you navigate everything from imaging and lab services to pharmacy and physical therapy. Details about appointment scheduling can be found at ascension.org/St. Thomas Joint and Spine.
This is Coach Stockstill. I want to talk some trash. No, not about the game. I want to talk about the litter problem on our roadways. The Tennessee Department of Transportation spends $19 million every year just to pick up litter. There's over 100 million pieces of litter on our roadways at any given time, making our state unsightly and unsafe. Litter harms our highways, waterways, even our wildlife. So let's do something about it. Don't litter. Remind others not to, and report littering when you see it. We can beat litter, but only if we're all on the same team. Join the movement today. Visit NobodyTrashesTennessee.com.
With the Kroger Plus card, it's easy to get lower than low prices for the win. And for every $1 you spend, you earn fuel points, which can add up to $1 per gallon off at the pump for the win. Plus, save every day on groceries and get personalized digital coupons for the win. The Kroger Plus card, all you do is win. Big, big savings. Sign up now at Kroger.com and start saving. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply.
It's never lost on Window World that your home is your largest physical investment. Window World's integrity will be noticed from your very first moment of contact. The clean, professional installation of premium windows, siding, doors, and more are designed to last while leaving your home looking amazing. Window World and their lifetime warranty will always be there when it really matters. They're America's most trusted remodeler and proud partner of Middle Tennessee Athletics because the difference is integrity and always in the details.
The flagship station for Blue Raider sports, WGNS.
Welcome back to the Boulevard for a final segment. Coach Rick Stockstill joining us tonight as the Raiders get set to travel to Miami to take on the Hurricanes this weekend. A couple of things wanted to bring up. DeJuan Buford and one of his teammates, Robert Frazier, have been pushing to give some help to a former Blue Raider, Vernon Warren, who suffered a spinal injury back in 1984. And Vernon was at the game Saturday. He was recognized on the field. And that GoFundMe account that they have started, if you want to give to it, just go to GoFundMe.com and just put in Vernon Warren, and you'll find it. But already now nearly $6,000 has been raised to help Vernon Warren, which is very, very, very good. And that was a tough day up in Bowling Green. The Raiders got a win, but a very tough, a life-changing day for Vernon. Also, Jordan Ferguson today was named that he is now a finalist and one of the members of the All-State Good Works team. He is the only player from the group of 5 on that group. He joins Wes Counts and Brent Stockstill as the 3 players from Middle Tennessee who have done that. So that's a huge, huge honor for him.
Yeah, I'm really proud for Jordan to be recognized for that, and just, very deserving. He's as good as he is on the field, he's equally as good, and if not better, off the field. And he's got a great heart. He's very passionate about, helping people, and glad to see him recognized for that. I was down there with Brent when he went, and he'll have a great experience, a great time, and something he'll remember and cherish the rest of his life.
Yep, he'll go to the All-State Sugar Bowl to be part of that as the All-State Good Works team. As we mentioned this week, it is Miami with the head coach Mario Cristobal, and Jennifer wanted to know how different is Coach Cristobal now from when he was at FIU as far as offensive and defensive schemes and things like that.
Maybe a little bit more offensively. When they had T.Y. Hilton, they were spreading it out and throwing it to him a bunch.
It was a good move on their part.
But, when they didn't have him, they were more like they are now. And defensively, they've always, been a quarters too deep, man-to-man team. They play probably more pressure, probably more man-to-man stuff now than what they did when he was at FIU, and that's more Kevin Steele and Charlie Strong's MO, maybe their influence. And, him being at Alabama when – with them playing so much, man coverage, probably influenced him also.
Yep. And you talked about today at your press conference that, you look at that defense in particular, it's starting to look like the old Miami defenses because they are fast, they run, they've got athletes all over the field.
Yeah, it's typical. Big-time team. They got good players. They've added some transfers to their team, and but they're athletic and they can run. Their corners are long, and their line. Like I said at the press conference, their linebackers and defensive line have always been the guys that have been the difference makers. At University of Miami defensively, and they're getting those guys back now.
Big challenge, big opportunity.
Man, we're fired up, Chip. You get to play the 25th, ranked team, on the road down there, and just the history, the tradition of that program, and everybody knows about the Miami Hurricanes. Everybody knows about the U. So, man, we'll be fired up and excited to go down and play, and we just got to stay in the moment and don't be distracted, and focus on what we can control, but we'll be excited to go down there and play this sucker.
Yeah, it'll be a hot, humid afternoon in Miami, but it all begins at 2:30 with the kickoff. And, Coach, good luck.
I appreciate it, Chipper. Thanks, and thanks for everybody coming tonight. It's a great crowd.
All right, Coach Rick Stockstill joining us this evening. Again, 1 o'clock for the pregame show on Saturday, kickoff at 2:30 right here on the Blue Raider Network. Want to thank Darius White. He has been our producer in the studio. We'll talk to you again on Saturday here on the Blue Raider Network from Learfield.